Winning the lottery can be a life-changing experience, but sadly, some winners made poor decisions that made them lose everything. Here are the 10 dumbest lottery winners of all time. Number 10. Americo Lopez. The story of Americo Lopez is quite hilarious. Americo was part of a group of construction workers from New Jersey who pooled their money to purchase lottery tickets, and it was Americo Lopez's task to buy the tickets. As it turned out, they won an astounding $38.5 million in November 2009, but Americo kept the winnings a secret from his co-workers against their agreement. He quit his job shortly after on the pretext he needed foot surgery. As luck would have it, many months later in 2010, Americo told one of the group members, Daniel Estevez, that he had won a lottery after leaving the job. His co-workers heard this news and put two and two together. One of them went ahead and checked the time he had actually won, which was posted on a Mega Millions website, and discovered it was before he quit the job. They realized he was lying. The 5 of them sued Americo, and consequently the lottery money was frozen by a judge in March 2011. As the trial began, it came to light that Americo had already started spending the money. He had made a $145,000 down payment on a $1.5 million dream home in Boonton, New Jersey, as revealed in legal papers obtained by the New York Post. Lopez's dream house is a 5,000 square footer located behind a circular driveway on a leafy cul-de-sac. He was also paying down a $378,000 mortgage and was generous with family and friends, spending a total of $250,000 on them, both in cash and gifts. He also bought a $35,000 Chevy truck. In fact, a total of $5 million of the cash winnings was missing from the lottery money at the time the trial started. Americo claimed he had won the jackpot with a different ticket and denied he was friends with his coworkers. His coworkers were shocked and testified they had been close enough friends to even visit each other's homes. A jury in State Superior Court in Elizabeth, New Jersey, later ruled that Americo had cheated his coworkers out of their rightful share of the lottery winnings after the 5 construction workers contributed money to buy tickets. The net winnings came down to $24 million after Americo opted to take the prize in cash, and after tax deductions, it came down to $17.43 million. The court eventually awarded Lopez's 5 coworkers $4 million each. Since he had been spending the money already to the tune of $5 million, Americo would probably have nothing left after his coworkers had gotten their fair share. What a jerk! If you're enjoying this video, please like and subscribe to our channel as we proceed. Number 9. Denise Rossi. Denise Rossi played the California Super Lotto regularly and was happily married to her husband Thomas for 25 years. So when Denise suddenly filed for divorce in 1996, Thomas was puzzled, and to make it more complicated, she refused to say what the problem was. Thomas had to grant her wish, although he was hurt and confused. Little did he know that his wife had won $1.3 million shortly before filing for divorce. He carried on with his life until 2 years later. A letter in the mail addressed to Denise revealed the truth. The letter mentioned her $1.3 million lottery money, and the date of the winning showed it was 11 days before she filed for divorce. Thomas was astounded. He immediately sued his ex-wife. The U.S. court found out that Denise had authorized for the check to be sent to her mother's home, denying her husband the knowledge of it. Denise said she didn't know she needed to disclose the winnings to anyone, hence she didn't mention it in their divorce hearing. She only claimed she had wanted to leave the relationship for years. The judge found her guilty of violating state asset disclosure laws. The court ruled that she pay her ex-husband 20 annual installments of $66,800. Just check it out. This sum is literally the entirety of her winnings. Her lawyer, Connolly Euler, said Denise may have had the opportunity to keep her money had she mentioned it to the court. He said he would have successfully argued that the winnings were her personal property. Oh man, talk about shooting yourself in the left foot. Number 8. John Ross Jr. John Ross was a simple folk residing in Linda, California, who sadly wasn't moving forward in life. He was still stuck at home at the age of 29 and was without a job. He didn't even have a driver's license. But luck was on his side as he won $2 million from California's Set for Life lottery. He was to receive 70 grand each year for 20 years, which would enable him to plan his life better and get the necessities he had always wanted, like buying a car, which he admitted he had always dreamed of. John was quite vocal about how he wanted to use the money to improve the lives of those around him and change his situation. But to everyone's greatest surprise, a few months later, John was forced to use his lottery winnings to bail himself out of prison after being arrested for allegedly attempting to steal. What do you think John was accused of stealing? A car. However, John, who helped a woman push a broken-down vehicle on a lonely road, made it clear he wasn't aware the car was stolen. He was determined to clear his name and move on with his money after posting bail. Number 7. Alicia Battle. Just as her name would suggest, Alicia Battle was involved in so many battles. But sadly, she was usually on the wrong side of the battle. She's been involved with credit card fraud, keying cars, and assault. So how's she connected to lottery winnings and losses? Well, in 2003, Alicia won $162 million on a winning Mega Millions ticket, or so everyone believed. But the truth would soon come to light. It happened that she'd bought a losing ticket from the same shop where the winning ticket was bought. She waited a few days after the winning numbers were announced to see if any winners would emerge. When no winner came forward, Alicia quickly declared herself the winner but had lost her ticket. She gained sympathy from the public, and some people tried to assist her in finding the ticket. But she didn't know that the real winners were simply receiving advice before coming forward. They eventually came forward and claimed their winnings, exposing Alicia's falsehood. She was charged yet again for submitting a false police report, an offense she intentionally committed. Number 6. Sharon Tirabassi. Sharon Tirabassi from Hamilton, Ontario, bought a Lotto Super 7 ticket on an April 2004 weekend and became an instant winner. Growing up in different homeless shelters and having had to survive on welfare, winning $10 million in a twinkling of an eye was a reality beyond her wildest imagination. Sharon thought the money would last forever, and she embarked on reckless shopping sprees. She splurged the majority of her fortune on fancy cars, a mansion, designer clothes, extravagant vacations, and gave generous loans to friends and family. She even sponsored her friends to expensive trips to California, Las Vegas, Florida, and the Caribbean. From time to time, Sharon checked her bank account and seeing lots of zeros, the mom of 6 didn't feel she was in danger of bankruptcy because of her reckless spending. But one day, it dawned on her that she had gone down. Like everything without proper organization, her money plunged, and within 10 years, she was bankrupt. Can you imagine that? A lifetime fortune frittered away in 10 years. She had to take up a part-time job to sustain her family and rented a home to accommodate her 6 children. If you're enjoying this video, please like and subscribe to our channel as we proceed. Number 5. E.B. Ronchioli. While most of these stories have sad ends, it is particularly heartrending. What really happened? Well, it was in 1991 when E.B. Ronchioli from Ontario and a friend, Ludmila Houghton, won $10 million in the Lotto 649 draw, which they split evenly between them. However, E.B. decided not to share her $5 million with her gynecologist husband, Joseph Ronchioli, despite the prize being a life-changing one. According to reports, E.B. spent money extravagantly, but secretly, and embarked on gambling sprees. She was reportedly a secret alcoholic too. Then, most devastatingly, she spent money on her 3 sons. You may ask, how could spending on her 3 sons be a bad thing to spend money on? E.B. bought a house for the son she had with her husband and also gave him $590,000. Then she reportedly gave another son she had from a previous marriage approximately the same amount. Then, there was this son nobody knew existed, not even her husband. She reportedly gave him $1.4 million. All this she did without her husband knowing. And when he found out, what happened next? Well, most secrets eventually leak. Her husband got to know about her wild spendings years later. Then things took an ugly twist. Eby was found dead on the couch in the mansion where she lived with her husband of 30 years in July 2003. Initially, it was believed she died of natural causes, but that opinion soon changed after the autopsy came in. The autopsy found a toxic level of painkillers and alcohol in her system and identified mysterious needle marks on her legs and feet. It took 6 long months for her husband to admit he injected her with painkillers. Joseph Rocchioli was charged for his wife's death, and during the trial, a lot of shocking information was released. It was realized that though the couple appeared to be a happy elderly pair, they were actually living separate lives in the big mansion that had an internal swimming pool. The son told the media that his mother suffered from alcoholism and would become mean and show a dark side when drunk. It was revealed during the trial that Eby had blown through her lottery money and the couple's net worth stood at $300,000, despite Eby's fortunes and her husband's successful career. The court found her husband guilty of manslaughter because he failed to call for help when he saw his wife in dire need and did not try to revive her. Instead of calling an ambulance, he called their bookkeeper. He was given a 7-year jail sentence in 2008. Pathetic. Number 4. Callie Rogers. Callie Rogers was 16 years old when she won a £1.8 million jackpot in 2003. She was earning £3.60 an hour at a supermarket where she worked. Winning millions overnight can be overwhelming, especially for a 16-year-old. So, how did this young lady fare? Why is she on the list? Well, Callie blew her winnings on breast enhancement, which gulped around £18,000, spent around £300,000 on designer clothes, and a lot more on drugs and wild nights out. For her, this money would never be exhausted. The Sun reported that she also owned a luxury Hyundai 4x4, which later crashed while she was intoxicated with cocaine, resulting in a long-term driving ban. Callie, who grew up in a foster home, later told ITV's This Morning that her winnings were a curse. According to her, she battled depression during the pressure of her fortune and even attempted to take her own life. She later called for the age limit of lottery participation to be moved from 16 to 18, saying you don't have any concept of what money means when you're young. Within weeks of winning the jackpot, she met Nicky Lawson, the father of her 2 eldest children, and moved out of her parents' home to live with him in a £180,000 bungalow. It was after 5 years when her relationship with Nicky fell apart that she attempted suicide. At a point, her 2 kids then were taken from her, and she spent £17,000 on a boob job to regain her confidence. She later claimed some people came into her life just to siphon her money, no genuineness. In an interview with ITV, she said, "You're only 16, with all that responsibility. At that age, you can get the best advice ever, but you're not in a position to listen. I was too young. Overnight, I went from a carefree child to adult." From £1.8 million in 2003 to claiming universal credit in 2021, the same year she filed for bankruptcy, Callie lost it all. But the good news is, despite blowing her £1.8 million lottery winnings and almost derailing in life, Callie has been able to recover herself and currently trains as a nurse. And she says she's happier without all that money. So, do you agree too much money is a problem? Tell us in the comments and keep watching for more names. Number 3. Willie Hurt. When in 1989 Willie Hurt won $3.1 million in the Michigan lottery, he was still a dedicated family man, living with his wife and 3 children. Hurt was to receive the prize over 20 years, getting $156,000 for each installment. But soon after, things took an ugly turn. He veered into crack cocaine, and it was so bad that his wife filed for divorce in 1991. The divorce proceedings took a large chunk of his money. Then he had a custody battle for his children, which he lost. By the end of 1991, just 2 years after the winnings, he was penniless. And to make matters worse, in September the same year, a woman named Wendy Elizabeth Kimmy, 30, was shot dead in the head in a room at a boarding house which Hurt had rented for the past 3 weeks. Witnesses revealed that the two had been on alcohol and drug binges there for 2 days. According to prosecutors, Hurt got erratic when they ran out of cocaine. He turned himself in and reportedly confessed to the crime, after which a judge ordered for his mental state to be evaluated. Hurt was looking at life in prison if convicted. Interestingly, Michigan lottery officials said he would still be receiving his lottery payouts even if he was jailed. But unfortunately, not much has been heard on Hurt's case since then, because his case hasn't been made public ever since journalists published his news in September 1991. One would think that winning a lottery would bring the best out of some people, but unfortunately, the opposite strikes. Do you feel the lottery curse is real? Tell us in the comments and keep watching. Number 2. Christina Goodenow. During a shopping outing in 2005, Christina Goodenow decided to buy a ticket for the $1 million jackpot lottery organized by the Oregon Lottery. Later, Christina found out her ticket was a winning ticket, and she had won $1 million. She came forward and claimed the winnings, opting for annuity payments. Shortly afterwards, she received her first payment of $33,000. But a shocking truth emerged after an investigation probed into her purchase of the lottery ticket and other items. It came to light that Christina was using the credit card of her then-boyfriend's mother, who had been dead for a year. Considering this is highly illegal, she was charged with multiple felonies, including theft, forgery, and fraud. She claimed to have bought the lottery with her own money and maintained a no-contest plea to theft charges. Judge Ray White sentenced her to probation and ordered her to forfeit the lottery winnings. Subsequently, the court awarded the lottery money to the Medford Police Department. Talk about doing things right. Number 1. Michael Carroll. At the age of 19, this young man won a £9.7 million jackpot, approximately $14 million in 2002. He claimed he would be responsible with his money, but the opposite began to play itself out. He embarked on reckless spending. He bought a £50,000 BMW, a lakeside mansion, and a Mercedes. Then he developed an acute taste for drugs, alcohol, and brothels, bragging to have slept with over 4,000 women at one point. Can you imagine that? He also bought steel balls, which he used to pelt shop windows using a catapult. Good lord! He paid expensively for orgies and explained his morning routine was starting the day with 3 lines of Charlie and half a bottle of vodka. He gained notoriety for his wild parties where naked women paraded with silver trays of cocaine, and he would end the night sleeping with 8 women at a go. To be honest, he was lucky to have survived this long without overdosing. He revealed he spent as much as £50,000 on each party, which he proudly dubbed Roman-style orgies. According to Michael, he spent £2,000 on cocaine daily and had countless women offering him their body. Soon after, Michael blew the entirety of his winnings away. By this time, his wife had already left him due to the horrible lifestyle he adopted. He became homeless and went bankrupt. Michael has spoken openly on how the lottery affected his health, calling himself a full-blown alcoholic, and acknowledged he would always take cocaine and vodka in the morning. Michael spent £325,000 on a mansion that lay decaying for 10 years. Invested some money in the Rangers because it's his favorite football club, and bought £150,000 worth of gold watches, among other things. He filed for bankruptcy in 2013 and stayed in a hotel for the homeless for 3 months when he failed to secure a job. Despite losing all his money and being forced to return to work as a coal delivery man, Michael says he has no regrets on how he spent his millions and wouldn't do it any differently if given another chance. According to him, winning the lottery was the best 10 years of my life for £1. He added, "I don't look back with regrets, that's for sure. I wouldn't want to turn the clock back." Well, what exactly can we say about that? He says he doesn't regret it. Thank you for watching to the end. Which of these lottery winners do you feel was the dumbest? If you were in their shoes, do you think you would have done better? Please let us know in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe. See you later.